Think about the last time you got something you really wanted. A promotion, a new apartment, a relationship, a goal you'd worked toward for months or years. How long did the happiness last? Not the relief, the happiness. A week? A month? And then, almost without noticing, it just became your new normal. You started wanting the next thing. If that pattern sounds familiar, you are not ungrateful. You are not broken. You are experiencing one of the most well-documented phenomena in psychology. And nobody warned you about it. This is where curiosity meets truth. In 1971, two psychologists named Philip Brickman and Donald Campbell published a paper that changed how scientists think about happiness. They called it the Hedonic Treadmill. Their argument was this: human beings have a happiness set point, a baseline level of well-being that we tend to return to regardless of what happens to us. Good things happen. We go above it temporarily. Bad things happen. We go below it temporarily. But we adapt. Always. And we return to the baseline. In 1978, Brickman tested this directly. He studied lottery winners, people who had experienced the most dramatic positive financial event imaginable. 1 year later, they were no happier than a control group who had won nothing. The brain had adapted completely. The lottery, the thing that was supposed to change everything, had become normal. And here is the mechanism that causes this. The brain doesn't respond to states. It responds to changes. You don't feel happy because you have a nice apartment. You feel happy when you get a nice apartment. The moment it becomes familiar, the happiness signal stops firing. This is why the treadmill never stops. But here's where it gets truly interesting. You have felt this in every area of your life. The salary increase that felt life-changing for exactly one pay cycle, and then became your new minimum expectation. The relationship that felt electric and then became comfortable, which you told yourself was maturity, but sometimes felt like loss. The body you worked hard to achieve, that you appreciated for a moment, before immediately identifying the next thing to change. The car, the apartment, the follower count, the achievement on the CV. Each one, genuinely wanted, genuinely worked for, genuinely obtained. And each one, absorbed by the baseline faster than you expected. Brickman and Campbell drew a bleak conclusion from their research. If the treadmill is real, then no external achievement can ever produce lasting happiness. But here is where the story gets more complicated and more hopeful, because later research significantly revised the original model. If this is already landing differently, you know what to do. Subscribe button is right there. In 2006, psychologist Ed Diener and his colleagues published a paper called Beyond the Hedonic Treadmill. Their finding was critical. The treadmill is real, but it is not absolute. Not everything adapts equally. Research consistently shows that we adapt much faster to things, possessions, achievements, status symbols, than we adapt to experiences and relationships. A new car becomes normal within weeks. A meaningful conversation with someone you love doesn't adapt the same way. A promotion becomes the new baseline quickly. A friendship that challenges and supports you accumulates rather than fades. This is exactly what Epicurus argued 2,000 years before the research existed, which we explored just a few weeks ago on this channel. Want less, fear less, friend more. The modern psychology maps precisely onto ancient philosophy. The set point can also be raised, but not through achievement. Through three things the research consistently supports: genuine social connection, not performed connection, real intimacy, meaning activity that connects to something larger than your own comfort or status, and gratitude practice, not as a self-help cliché, but as a deliberate interruption of adaptation. You cannot stop the treadmill, but you can choose what you put on it. The hedonic treadmill is not just psychology. It is the reason Kierkegaard said the aesthetic life, the life built around pleasure and new experiences, always eventually produces despair. Not because pleasure is wrong, but because pleasure adapts. And when it does, if that's all you have, there is nothing left. It is the reason Camus said revolt matters more than arrival. Not the achievement, the striving, not the destination, the engagement with the climb. It is the reason the boiling frog theory is so dangerous. Because the treadmill can slowly raise the floor of what you expect until your baseline becomes so high that nothing ordinary life offers can reach it. And it is the reason Simone Weil said attention, genuine, present, unhurried attention to what is actually in front of you, is the rarest and most valuable thing. Because attention is the one practice that directly interrupts adaptation. You cannot be fully present to something and simultaneously be adapted to it. Full presence and adaptation cannot occupy the same moment. The hedonic treadmill is not bad news. It is clarifying news. It tells you that the version of happiness you've been sold, achieve more, acquire more, become more, is structurally incapable of delivering what it promises. Not because you're doing it wrong, because the brain was never designed to stay happy about the same thing. It was designed to keep moving. The question is not how to get off the treadmill. The question is what to put on it. Put achievements and possessions on it, and it runs forever while you stay in place. Put genuine connection, meaning and presence on it, and something different starts to happen. Not the permanent happiness nobody actually experiences, but something more honest, a life that accumulates rather than resets, where the things that matter don't adapt away, where attention itself becomes the practice. Here is your question for the comments. What is one thing you achieved or acquired that you were certain would make you happy, and then adapted to faster than you expected? Drop it below. New philosophy and psychology explainer every Wednesday on Chasing Sunsets. Subscribe and hit the bell. Curious minds don't miss this one. This is where curiosity meets truth. See you next Wednesday.